In this episode of No Blueprint, we sit with Leona and Luis Rodriguez to discuss how they turned their love for coffee and community into one of Seattle's most iconic coffee shops and wine bars. Enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe and share. What's up, everybody? I go by the name of Domo.
And I go by the name of Yoshiko.
We sit with entrepreneurs and artists across disciplines to share their stories, insight, and gems. Their journey will inspire you to think about community and your own narrative, how it shapes who you are, and what your legacy will be.
You're listening to No Blueprint.
No Blueprint.
No Blueprint.
No Blueprint.
You are listening to No Blueprint.
Luis Rodriguez is a Mexican man born in Baja California, Mexico. Came to Seattle in 1991 at the age of 12, 13 years old. My brother brought me to Seattle, and I've been in love with Seattle ever since. I'm the owner. Me and my wife, obviously, I'm the owner of the Station Coffee Shop. Nice. I want to say straight up, we are the number one POC. For those who don't know what POC stands for, it's People of Color establishment in Seattle. Oh. You know, and we created a coffee shop for us, by us, for us. You know,
FUBU.
Yeah. FUBU. Yes. Mm-hmm. So, and white coffee. A lot of people.
We'll get there.
We'll get there, right?
We'll get there.
Who are you?
Yes.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who am I? I am Leona Rodriguez, the co-owner of the Station Coffee Shop, with this handsome man that I married a long time ago. I'm from here. I am a true Washingtonian. I was born in Kennewick, Washington in 1977.
Yes.
And I know, right? Yeah, I was born there, I'm not gonna lie. But my mom moved us back here permanently when I was 8, and I've been here ever since, except for a short stint in Mexico with this one.
She actually grew up in this area.
Yep.
When this area was black.
Not the Central District.
Right. I mean,
it's the CD. I hate saying Central District. I never called it that until it got gentrified. It's the CD. Thank you. The CD, Columbia City, and then Beacon Hill became my home when I was 18 when I moved out. Yep.
Okay, point of reference. I've heard people say Central District. I've heard people say CD. I've heard people say Central Area.
It depends how black you are.
Okay, got it. Done.
So, if you're black,
it really
CD.
is a Central District.
Area?
It is a Central District. I never heard Central Area, but I know it's a Central District. I've always known that, but no one I know has ever called it that. So it just irks me a little bit. I know it's just a dumb little pet peeve, but
what do you call it?
It's the CD. Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, excuse me. I didn't mean to get all.
No.
Sorry, honey. I'm sorry. But I mean, it's the CD, and people come and change it to the Central District, and it just annoys me a little bit.
Okay. I want to know what your parents did.
Oh.
And I know that may be going too far back.
Yeah.
But I'm interested.
Okay.
Yeah.
Foundation.
Yes.
Foundation for me.
Yes.
Foundation.
I thought you were Yoshi. I'm like,
No. I know.
So the show is about us, apparently.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So Foundation was mine, right? And let's not forget that not everybody has that.
Yeah.
Not every family has a foundation. Not every family has an actual, like a good story, of their past. In my case, I can tell you that fortunate and lucky me, I had a strong foundation with two amazing, beautiful Mexican parents. They both were with me, and I was with them till my father passed away in 2009. Which is right here. I don't know if you can see it. This is a skull,
nice.
which represents my father.
Yeah.
And this one I'm saving for my mother if she passes away before me, because it's close to the heart.
Okay.
Nice. So so my parents. My mother was a home mother. She raised us. She was like. Once upon a time, there used to be that thing that there was a mom that stays at home and didn't have to work. Like nowadays, both parents have to work, Right. But in Mexico, my father was the provider, the money provider. even though she was the rock of the house, right? My father was a engineer electrician. So he worked for the government as an electrician and opened his own business after he retired for electrical engineer, became his own business owner. And his first employee was my older brother.
Nice.
And so he did all these electrical stuff for the houses and stuff. So we all know a little electric work because of him.
Nice.
I'm probably the less knowledgeable when it came to that because I was the youngest one, But everybody knows something, including the women in my family. We learned all how to cook. He was also a great cook, but we all learned how to cook because of my mother.
Yeah.
So we all know a little culinary,
Nice.
So that's my parents. My parents are awesome Mexican people.
Nice. How many siblings?
We're Mexican,
Okay.
and we're Mexican and we're Catholic, so like 110.
Okay, got it. Easy.
But in reality, 9 of us.
Nice.
He's the baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. What about yourself?
So my parents, my mom is here. My father's in the Tri-Cities still. So my father's side, they live there, and then my mother's side's all here in Seattle. Some spread out, some are in California, but for the most part, they're here. My mom was a jack of all trades. She worked everywhere. She unfortunately had a bad drug addiction my whole life, but she's been clean for about 13 years now. It'll be 13 years in February.
Hey, Francie, we love you.
Yes, and she went back to school and got her degree.
She's an amazing woman.
Yeah.
She's kind of amazing.
She's.
I admire her a lot because she just was like, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah.
Can I swear?
Yep. No,
Okay.
you're fine. You're good.
Because I have no filter sometimes, but she was just done with it, just living like that. And she raised my 2 older brothers and my older sister by herself.
Wow.
And my stepdad came to the picture when I was about 13, but I mean, she was still she was the queen of the household.
Yeah.
I mean, he did whatever she said. So, and my father, he was a truck driver.
Okay.
He's a retired truck driver, and I would visit him in the summertime until I got older and I didn't want to leave Seattle and go back to the Tri-Cities ever.
Yeah. Why would you?
I can't stand that place. It's just not a place to raise your family. I don't think personally, even though some people have great lives there. But I have more siblings as well from my father's side that I don't say half or step or anything like that. But I have a total of probably, I think there might be 10 of us total.
What are you guys, Mexican?
I am.
I can say that. I can say
technically, I'm technically the youngest from my mom's side, but I'm like right there in the middle from my dad's side.
So growing up, did you know any entrepreneurs or have any entrepreneurs in your life? I guess your dad. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually grew up in a household full of entrepreneurs. My father being the first one that I know. My sister, Maribel, which her actual name is Aide. We call her Maribel. I don't know where that Maribel comes from. She opened her fonda, what they call fonda taqueria, when, 25-30 years ago.
Wow.
So we grew up in the food industry. So we once we get there, we also open our own, and I've been an entrepreneur for 20 something years. We opened Java Love, which became Baja Bistro.
Okay.
But yeah, we're surrounded by entrepreneurs, not only in the family but friends and people that I know.
A lot of hustlers.
It's a lot of hustlers.
No, seriously, you grew up
Yeah.
around a lot of hustlers.
Yeah.
Just,
What was your first business? So I know you had Java Love.
Java Love was it was the actual first business.
Okay.
My brother and I opened Java Love, which, like I say now, is Baja Bistro.
Yep. Shout out to Baja Bistro.
Shout out to Baja Bistro.
Still hungry talking about it.
Corner of 15th and Beacon.
I think so, right? Yeah.
Right by the Shell.
By the Shell and the other guy, 76.
Yeah.
So it's a staple.
Yes.
In Beacon Hill.
Absolutely.
The number one and the only gay bar in Beacon Hill.
Yeah.
So we opened that in 1994.
Wow.
I was 17 years old, 16, 17 years old. Yeah, I was a child. Me and my brother opened the place because when I came to Seattle in 1991, 91, 92, we used to live in Capitol Hill. And I've been drinking coffee since I was like 5 years old because of my father. Used to give us literally this much coffee, this much cream.
And sugar.
and he used to be
latte.
like, coffee, and I
Cafe
loved coffee from the beginning. Yeah.
How old were you when you would do this?
5 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That explains.
yeah.
the
That
energy
explains
he
all of the
has.
energy.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
It all
He does
makes
not
sense. I
sleep.
get it.
I don't know how the hell.
I get it.
I don't know where he.
And
yeah.
so
That's
we used to be in Capitol Hill getting coffee, right? And my brother and I drink coffee every morning. We wake up, we go to we go, and I came to Seattle in 91, 92. I was 13 years old, and I'm drinking coffee, lattes. But see, in Mexico, we used to drink what we call café con leche or café mexicano, Mexican coffee, which is pretty much coffee, like brewed coffee with cream and stuff. And then I came to Seattle, and that's where I learned about the mochas, the lattes, the cappuccinos, and all this stuff. When we moved fast forward, we moved to Beacon Hill in 94, and we couldn't find a coffee shop at all. So there was no coffee shop. So we were walking around Beacon Hill, like the first week that we moved in there, we couldn't find a coffee shop. And then one day we were walking on Beacon Avenue, and my brother goes, "There's the coffee shop." And I'm like, "Where?" He goes, "Right there." And I'm looking through the window of Java Love, and I'm like, "What do you mean? There's no coffee shop?" I'm 16 years old probably at the time. He goes, "Don't you see it?" I go, "No, I don't see it." He goes, "Our coffee shop. Let's open that coffee shop that I was wanting." I'm like, "What?" I'm a kid. I'm like, "No way." But so with money that he had, money that my parents sent me, we collect the money. We opened the coffee shop in 1994 with literally $4,000 or $5,000.
Wow.
Machine, everything. And it was, Java Love was such a yard sale 90s coffee shop. Like that I know that you guys probably were born in 2001, but but coffee shops were in Seattle were like that, we had tables, those coffee tables. We had all these tables, maybe
antique store or
and there were tables made with windows
Oh, yeah.
and bricks.
Yeah.
So it was very 90s, very Seattle 90s, made with earthy and stuff, and it was a beautiful coffee shop.
Nice.
And became Java Love, became Baja Bistro because we're from Baja California, and we start selling food and and evolved.
Then the bar opened.
But in Mexico, we when we moved to Mexico in 2001,
Yeah.
her and I, we opened our own
we opened up what's it?
taco truck.
Fish taco truck.
Fish taco truck.
Nice. Tell
Yeah.
us more about that. In
2001, Luis and Leona packed their bags and moved to Mexico to get away from the societal xenophobia sparked by 9/11. After successfully running a fish taco truck for a few years, they gave the business to her sister and moved back to Seattle with their newborn, Mauricio.
You got your
The
old
beginning.
job,
Yeah.
but I ended up working at Baja Bistro for a while, and so you'd work in the day,
Yeah.
and I'd be at home, and then at night you take
Switch,
over
yeah.
Mauricio, and I'd go
Yeah.
work at Baja Bistro at night.
It was very smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
a
very
good
smooth transition. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what lessons did you take from owning the business, or did you bring from owning the business in the taco truck, fish taco truck in Mexico back to Baja Bistro?
For me, it was grinding, man. I was in another level. I mean, getting up at 4 or 5 in the morning was yo, I can do this shit.
Right.
Like, I can do this. Like, not a lot of people, and remember, I was a kid. You know, like I was 26 years old, 27 at the most.
You have to want to do it. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
and I had a family now, so I feel like a
Right.
grown man. Like I was
Yeah.
like, yo, I have a kid, I have a wife, I had a business in Mexico. Let's do this. You know, I got this. I got this. Man, we opened. Well, I mean, when we came, I went to my old job, which is it's called Merlino Foods, and they loved me there, man. I was a truck driver there.
Nice.
And they loved me because I was like hustle,
Right.
and they used to give me bonuses because I was like
Getting it.
you know, getting it, and
All that energy from that coffee.
but
I've been prepping since I was 5.
I know, man. So I was like, I got this.
Just nonstop.
So moving around and being fast and doing all this stuff, I can probably tell you that within 2 years, not even, of being back, we bought our home.
Wow.
It wasn't even 2 years. It was less than that. Mauricio was like what? It really was less than 2 years.
Yeah.
It was maybe 9-10 months.
Oh,
I really
less
think
than a year.
It was pretty
less than a year of
fast.
coming
It
back
was fast,
to Seattle.
Yeah.
I was like, I have a family.
Yeah.
I need a home.
Wow.
You know, so we bought a house, and I was like, I made it into our home.
Yeah.
I worked in that house, man. I bust my butt in that house,
Yeah.
man.
So you recently moved into a new space. I mean, recently as in last 2 years?
It'll be a year in February.
Oh, a year. Okay. Oh, so we can say that's recent.
Yeah.
So the transition from the old space to the new space, you talk about that a little bit? Or how was that? Because there was like, oh, so you live in Beacon. I heard about this hip hop coffee shop, but I don't know where it is. Because it doesn't face the main street, and I'm like, oh well, if you go on this street you'll see it, and I always had to explain it. And now you have like this really good prominent location,
Visible.
yeah, very very visible, I think, and so now everyone can see it. So how has that been?
Insane. Yeah, the sales have like triple.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
from what the other one used to be. I love the old station, you know, and not because the sentiment of like having the place. It was just such a beautiful, cozy coffee shop,
Yes.
Yeah.
and it reminded me of like the old Seattle coffee shops, right? But without the yard sale furniture and stuff.
Before
Like
computers
we
and
actually did it.
iPhones.
Yeah, we did it. We did it nice and cool, but it felt cozy and welcome and all. I mean, the place himself was beautiful. We made all the coffee shop being cool as hell, right? But the actual space was amazing, which we still have it right now. We turn it into a wine bar now, the wine station. But the new place is a monster, man. We brought the new station with the feel of the old station, you know. And I didn't know that it was going to be possible, and I didn't know that it was going to be that fancy.
Yeah.
But it's fancy because we're bad and bougie, you know.
Hey, that's it.
Hey, so we brought the old station feel, but like 3 times as big.
Hey everybody, this is Philip Deng from No Blueprint Season 1, Episode 6. Just wanted to tell you that my nonprofit Market Share is launching a campaign today, Wednesday, May 2nd, called 100,000 Founders. We're raising $100,000 from 100,000 people donating $1 each as co-founders of King Street Market. This is the first time anybody's crowd-founded a public market. So we need you to go to our website, marketshareseattle.org, to be able to contribute $1 to our Kickstarter campaign and become a founder. It's that simple. Today, May 2nd, we've got 30 days until the campaign ends, and we need 100,000 people to pledge as co-founders. So check it out and enjoy No Blueprint.
How did the station become the station?
Have you not met this man? No, seriously. I think if I was the one who opened the station by myself, it would be like that because I'm a super quiet person.
Yeah.
But Luis is so good with like just getting in your face and getting in your business, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean like he has a lot of questions, and he just wants to get to know. You're coming to my place. Who are you?
Right.
Why are you here? I know you want coffee, but what else is going on with you?
Right.
I know you should probably answer this question, but I just
No.
It's
please.
just it's exciting for me to talk about because he opened the station. He's running this place by himself at first, and people are coming in. He's just talking it up, talking about how he's used to be in business at Baja Bistro as well, and people in the neighborhood already know him. But there's also people that he doesn't know, also, and then there's just word of mouth, and then getting to know the different people who come in. And I don't know any other coffee shop. Actually, I do. I'm lying. But before, I didn't know another coffee shop owned by a Mexican immigrant. Coffee? No. Other tacos and, that's not racist. It's true. It's true. But what I mean is, he's just really, really good. Just jibber jabbering and getting things out of you.
Stop it. Keep going.
Oh my
He's
God.
blushing. He's blushing.
But I think that's the reason why the station is what it is. And after, how many months was it when you had the block party, the very first one? Because that's what set it off.
It off.
Well, we started. Remember, the first day we had a DJ.
Oh, that's right.
Malik, Sean Malik.
That's right.
DJ
That's
Sean
Malik.
Malik.
That's Malik. That's Cynthia's brother.
Yes,
Sean Malik was my first
Shout out to DJ
DJ.
S. Malik.
Yes.
Malik, that's my boy right there.
Yes.
Sean Malik was the grand opening.
Wow.
Yeah,
The grand
he was
opening we
there.
had. I've been surrounded by DJs and friends, right? My first employee, I actually stole him from Java Love Baja Bistro, and that's WD4D,
Waylon.
aka Waylon, right? My first employee, a white cat, knowledgeable as fuck when it comes to coffee, and so my first employee besides me was a white employee by choice because I knew that I had this cat is woke, right? But he's not an ally, he's an accomplice, right? So I knew what I was doing with him because I wanted to bring somebody that could deliver the message, like my view, like my perspective, what I had in mind, and be like, okay, now talk to your white friends, which actually he doesn't have that many white friends because he's brown in his heart, But I was like, pass the message, and he was like,
He brought a lot of people in.
He brought a lot of people too, and he's surrounded by so many folks in this industry, in the music industry. That's how the whole thing. Sean Malik was a friend of mine through Baja Bistro when I was bartender and everything in there. We talked about music. So he was my first DJ at the very, very first day, the grand opening out there doing his thing. That was the very first, and I liked the feel of music and coffee. This is 2010. And then we were like, we should do this more like a barbecue style street, like a block party thing. And we had the grand opening, we had probably about 100 people there. And we were like, man, and everybody was like, man, I like this music, like the vibe is. We opened in May or June of 2010.
Oh yeah, it was May, and then in June you did have a actual block party.
Yeah.
Wow.
Within like a month of being open, we were
that
like.
was the first block party. Okay.
That was a block party.
But
2010.
didn't Auto Gang perform the first block party?
I believe so.
I think Mike knows that.
We have had so many parties, man. That people.
But the first one was so little, but it was still a lot of people there.
Man, we have had like some like big timers in our place.
Yes.
Big timers from like that, like in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then you see them now and you're like, what?
Speak on it.
Yeah.
Speak on
like
it.
like they're like, you had them at your place. I'm like, yeah.
Right.
the kids the kids want you to introduce them to Macklemore.
I know. They're like, you know Macklemore? And I'm like, well, I mean, I know him through everybody. He's not my friend, but he's like, but he's like, he's a cool cat. Like it's a small little, it's a small little place.
But he
it's
filmed a video in there.
Huh?
Did he film a video in there?
I mean, sure,
That's dope.
But to my POC artists like Gabriel Tidrios.
Yep,
Like
shout out
that's
to
Gabriel. We love you, man. He has gave us so much love.
Yeah,
He has literally has recorded maybe 3 videos in there.
Wow.
So through all of them from the beginning, you know, they help the block party, you know, and Matt, you know, Matt Speculations he's actually. So the station became like the block parties were like small little block parties till he took over, and then he became like this block party thing became like this huge thing.
Yeah.
Like
because of Speculation.
So
It's
big
huge.
now.
Yeah.
I
How's this-
remember
go
one
ahead.
of the earlier ones, and it was only the people from the neighborhood knew, really, which I was okay with.
Yeah.
And then I went last year and I thought, oh my gosh, this is so different from when I went just a few years ago. Do you have any parting words?
Yes.
Well, for me it was so what I wanted to say earlier was pretty much that as a Mexican male, as a brown person, I opened a coffee shop because coffee belongs to us.
Absolutely.
Because coffee is, and when I mean us, POC. You know, coffee was created thousands of years ago in Ethiopia, right? It was founded and discovered by Ethiopian folks, and it's something that only you can only is it cultivate?
Cultivate? I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's, you know, the only, you know, in the equator line, right? And it's by brown folks. And what happened here, I mean, coffee is the definition of appropriation. Because you will think that coffee is only white people's thing, when in reality it's like, no, this is black and brown.
This is as brown as
This
it
is
comes.
ours.
Yeah.
That's why I opened a coffee shop. The love of coffee and the fact that I'm trying to bring back what belongs to us.
I think that's a yoga of liquids.
Oh my gosh, yes. Like it's like, man,
Really, it's
yoga,
like a yoga of liquids.
isn't a
Seriously.
spiritual thing, right?
That's so
It's religion.
Oh my gosh.
But who
true.
owns these yoga places? Mostly white folks.
Yes.
And who does yoga?
Right.
White folks.
Right.
Right.
And they make it so expensive and so like, you know, like what the are we talking about? Same with wine. Wine, you go to these great places, they're all Latinos and brown working in these, you know?
Right.
But the owners are all white.
Yes.
Like what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like this is ours. So, and not only that, when you go to a wine bar, they don't even make you feel welcome.
Right.
Right.
They look at you like, oh, these people don't know what they want.
Right.
But it's like, it's us. It's ours.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to create a, you know, now that I created a coffee shop, now that we created a coffee shop that belongs to us, is welcome for our people. We hire our people. Now, how can we do that with wine? That I can go and make, you know, that anybody is welcome there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I will take white people's money all day long, but I will hire brown folks, and I will invest the money in brown places.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
but yeah, it's how can I create a place where like our people feel welcome and drink and sort of educate our folks to be like, you know, next time you go to another wine bar,
Right.
this is the questions you ask.
Right.
This is what you do. This is the like learn what the palate is like. What, you know, every human being has a different palate. So, but this is the questions you ask,
Absolutely.
and people will be like, man, what do you mean? What's a Malbec?
Right.
You know,
Right.
all the things the only things I knew was like Cabernet, Merlot, and now you say, you know, Tempranillo, and they're like, what is that? You know, so educate. I'm here to like teach and educate our people to be like, okay, so now feel comfortable when you go to a restaurant.
Yeah.
Right.
This is what you ask them.
So the prices at the wine bar are great. The station is great. Please, when you stop into the station, say what's up to Luis and Leona. This was great. Thank y'all so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
I hope
for
this show
having
is
us.
amazing and keeps growing and getting bigger and bigger.
It will.
It will be. I mean, now that they
because
see
you're a
us,
guest.
That's like because of y'all, of course.
yeah.
That's awesome. Thank y'all so much.
No, thank you.
guys.
For taking the time.
Yay.
If you liked what you heard, be sure to donate so we can keep going. We are on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube, so be sure to subscribe, rate, and comment. You have no idea how much it helps. We also want to know what you think. You can hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and you can even use the hashtag #NoBlueprint. And if you're really down with the movement, you can join our Patreon account and become a patron, where you'll get exclusive content and limited edition merchandise. No Blueprint is powered by Ambassador Stories. We share stories of the people, places, and spaces that bring soul to our communities. No Blueprint is recorded at Ambassador Stories Studios and co-produced with me, Maya Aina. Hear more episodes of No Blueprint and get official No Blueprint merchandise at noblueprintpodcast.com.